Here we are live once again. Welcome to the workshop of Wood Spun Around. I'm Doug. It is good to see you today. We're going to be working on doing a couple of things, finishing up a project from last week that just ran out of time. Had some technical difficulties with what I was doing, not with the internet or anything. But we've got those straightened out. We're ready to go, and I'm excited about finishing this project up. Let me bring my cohorts back in, my partners in crime. There's Ruby and Mark and Wayne. They're going to be keeping us all
Good evening,
straight.
guys.
Hi everyone.
I think Mark's going to read off our names here in just a moment.
I
Put you
volunteered
guys.
apparently.
All right. I'm going to put you guys back in the background. I think. There we go. This is what we did last week. We turned this piece of spalted fogwood. I have no idea what kind of wood it is. Kind of looks like might be maple, but it could be all sorts of things. So it's been uh, sanded. It's got wax on it. It's ready to go. Our next thing we're going to do is start working on the lid. That's next on the agenda. And so while I'm getting that together, Mark, why don't you go ahead and take care of our participants list there?
I will do. Right, I'll go back up to the start. The first one in was Ruby. She's obviously dead keen. And then Doug was in, and then we've got Door 60. Wurzel the Wood Butcher. Roger Woolham. Malcolm Douglas. And we've got me. And then we've got Paul Finley. Donna Glen Cove. Roger Kent. Ward Wilson. Lucy Bundy Rowe. Potato. We've got Tim Ponder. Did I say Roger Kent? Yes, Roger Kent.
Yeah, you did.
Old Man Riverwood Turner.
Deal.
James Crawford. Fred Gilliver. Hampton Wood Turnings. Scott, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it is Scott, yeah.
Susie the Swiss Wood Turner. Hello, Susie. Susie and I were having a conversation this afternoon. And then we've got Hodgepodge. Hi, Rob. Barry's in.
Evening,
Bonjour,
Baz.
Barry. And I believe I am at the bottom of my list.
Grand. And hello to
Hello,
everybody that
everybody.
has said hello to me in the chat.
Hello, folks.
Lucy has just popped out because she's saying to to some friends that have been visiting.
Rex B's in. Hello, Rex.
Well,
Go on, dog. What are you doing, man?
I know. I'm giving my hard self a hard time. There we
Get
go.
that devil, Robin. There you go.
And Rex has said, hi all, happy Tuesday. A great day to watch and learn from Master Wayne, Master Mark, and Doug. You forgot Ruby there,
We got
Rex.
Ruby.
You forgot Ruby.
You've got Master Ruby. Mistress Ruby. Mistress Ruby? Oh, that's wrong. That just sounds wrong. Master Ruby.
Now I'm heartbroken.
Michael Azzabardi's in. Hello, Michael.
Evening,
Mike.
Michael.
All right. There, what is going on? There must be a knot in this wood. There is.
Yeah, that's it. Blame the wood. Blame the wood.
And
Knot
Colin has
right
just
there.
joined us.
Hey, Colin.
It is good to have everybody in today. It's always good.
Where,
Yeah,
Alex says.
Alex,
Yeah.
go on, Mark. Go on.
No, you do it. You go on, you do it. He's right.
Right, Alex Wurzel has said, Mistress Ruby sounds a bit naughty. Lol.
She is.
Mark,
She comes across so sweet and innocent, folks, but really, she isn't.
Mark, you better
Just-
behave yourself.
Yeah.
I was going
When
to
are you
say
next
something.
over,
I'm not going
Ruby?
to.
Next time I'm over, Mark will be running.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like that's going to happen.
yeah. If you're
White
looking for a
Dove
hideout
Musical
anywhere,
Entertainment
Mark,
then.
it's not my house.
That is
And
true.
Peter the Park Woodturner has joined us. Welcome, Pete.
Good
And
evening.
Hey, Peter.
Raymond Wise has just joined us.
Hi, Raymond.
All right.
Oh, White Dove Musical has joined us too.
There we go. Just want to check it, make sure we're in as good a shape as I hope we are, which I think we are. That fit in there rather well. I wasn't expecting a tight fit. I could probably taper that just a touch more.
Now, Rex B is asked another question. Ruby, will you be giving live classes with Master Win or Master Mark so we can see and learn? Rex, that will if it is going to happen, it'll most likely be with Mark, to tell you the truth.
Yes,
Well,
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Wayne in person.
I'll bring her up to you, Wayne. I'm good at taking Ruby places and leaving her there. That's what I did with
that'll be
Pete
fun.
earlier. That's what I did
That'll
with
be
Pete
some
earlier
trip.
this year. I'll fly up quicker.
You
And
guys,
Scott has said,
you missed-
Scott said this from Hampton Wood Turners. He said, "Hey, wavy hand, you guy miss me?" With
No, we didn't.
smiley faces.
No, they didn't. We said hello.
Okay.
I said
I'll
Hampton
be
Wood
did.
right
Turners.
back.
Wayne said Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Come on, Scott. Pay attention. Go stand at the back. Really should sweep my floor up.
You really should.
Oh, I figured out where me good furniers are, Wayne.
Yeah.
I remember they fell off the lathe and they're in the pile of shavings down on the floor, which I haven't
Okay.
swept up yet.
Got that
Indeed.
So at
taken
least
care
I
of.
know where they are, just not precisely.
That's why I have a large magnet on a handle to locate things in the shavings.
What's that in your shavings? I missed it.
Well, I've mislaid my good set of verniers,
Ah.
and I've been looking for them everywhere. And then, like 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, I went, "Oh, I know where they are. They fell off the lathe. They're in a pile of shavings on the floor. I just couldn't be bothered to pick them up at the time. So, of course, I know where they are now.
There you go.
That's the height of laziness.
I tell you what, I
Yeah.
find stuff in my sleep all the time.
It's
Well.
it'll not be a good set anymore since how they hit the floor.
No, they landed in the shavings,
All right. Okay.
so they had a cushioned fall. Just they're buried. Chicken lady comes tomorrow, so when I bag them up, I'll find them.
Yeah, our
Chicken
yard
lady.
waste pickup is this week, so I'll get rid of a few this week.
And Scott has said, "Sorry, I missed it. I'm trying to do a dozen things at the same time, getting ready for his demos at SWAT. Have a good time,
Nice.
Scott, while you're there."
Oh, Scott
Yeah,
Hampton.
because all
Okay.
right.
Hey, Scott.
What are you
Hey,
going
Scott.
to be demonstrating, Scott?
Now, I think I've seen a couple of posts. It might have been him, it might have been somebody else, but I think he's going to be doing some inside-out turning. I think.
I don't remember. He said, but I don't remember. I
Oops.
must not have had that in very tight.
Roger Pop says he's looking forward to SWAT. He's got all his YouTube money saved up for sandpaper.
Oh, sorry. He's going to be doing deep textured platters.
Okay, That'd
It
be
must have been
interesting.
somebody else who I saw was going to be doing inside out turn.
Yeah, there is somebody going to do inside out. I don't remember who that was now.
Well, Scott, you can say hello to Martin for us.
Yes.
Oh, and Hodge has got a class with Derek Weedman next week. He's got to learn to make a turn beaver. Well, you can
Nice.
say you can say hello to Derek for me. He's a really
Right.
nice young man.
Right. Baz is asking what is swap. It's not swap, it's SWAT. Baz. It's the Southwest Association of Turners.
Turners, right?
Yeah. They're held in Waco, Texas, around about this time every year.
It's one of the
And
finest shows
yeah,
for turners in the United States.
that's the one I want to get to, but I doubt I ever will. And Rob's
Rob's
just
in.
come in from
Hey.
Klingspor. Evening,
Hi,
Rob.
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 It's amazing. I did not realize all the differences. I've been told it was a great show. And it's so much without having been there, but what I can find from looking on the internet and the prices and all that kind of thing, it's a better one than the AAW. The AAW's got it's got some great stuff, but SWAT I think will outdo it.
Yeah, Todd just said it's the second largest event in the US.
Flo
And
says
Robert
it's at
Hodge.
least half. Yeah, sorry, it's at least half the cost of
Yeah, go on.
the AAW one, which is quite expensive.
Yeah,
Wow. You're definitely going to have the blue in that one, Doug.
absolutely.
Oh,
That's what I was going to say.
definitely.
It has definitely been stabilized with blue.
I was going to say, did you explain to the folks about that piece?
I'm not sure I did. I was rummaging through my bucket of wood that a fella gave me, and found this piece that I thought it was blue. And the reason I picked it is because the vase itself, well, I can even show you. It has some blue resin in it.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping that this was going to turn out blue, and it definitely is.
And it's
JP's in.
stabilized, Doug, is that right?
Yes, this one is stabilized.
Yeah.
Hi, JP.
Hi, Jamie.
And Wyvie Woodshed has joined us.
Hiya, Andy.
Hey, Wivey.
Hi, Wyvie. Hi, JP. Hey, JP, sometime when you're talking to one of us, we had a good idea for you, a new T-shirt, another new T-shirt. I know you've got one out there now. I like it. I like it a lot. Whack it all
Right,
together.
if I am just gonna see if I can find the link, if you don't
Okay.
mind, Doug, and I'll put
No,
right.
please do.
What Jamie? A bit of a backstory. What Jamie does every year is that he does a T-shirt design, and it's a community T-shirt. So all of the sales from the T-shirt, Jamie actually gives to somebody in the maker community, and that includes all the sales from any other stuff in his merch store. Over, I think, the next month or so, might even be longer than that. But all the proceeds go to a maker, which Jamie at the moment hasn't decided on.
Right.
So that's what he does. I'll go and see if I can find the link. And
Anthony Green's in.
in fact, Jamie, if you want to send me the link, I will stick it in the chat. That'll be the best thing to do.
Hi, Anthony.
I saw it on Facebook, but I'm sure there's another external link.
Yeah, I am. In fact, I could just do that, go into Facebook, because I just ordered mine today.
Just wasting away some of this wood here.
you can really tell they saturated that wood good when they stabilized it.
Absolutely. And because of the color and all on it and how dark it was,
Cheers,
I
Jamie. I
have
think I've just
no-
found it.
I've got no clue as to what it might have been or how punky it might have been, anything. But it's definitely stabilized.
Bert's Balls has just joined. Hi, Bert.
Well, you're getting very nice shavings off it.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
the link I've just put in there is to the Jamie's Teespring page. Sorry about that. And that's for the community T-shirt, and it's a good one.
I'll be
That's
back
a
in a
lovely
second.
colour blue as well.
I'm sorry, Wayne, what was that?
I'm saying that's a lovely colour blue as well.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Let's see. I got to decide what I'm doing for my. I think I'll go with that. Looks good.
Will that camera zoom in anymore?
That's in as far as I've got it set to go, Ruby.
Okay, just wondering.
I think you could alter that zoom in OBS.
Yeah. Does that help a little bit?
It does.
It does, yeah. Right, Rex B is just put in there. I was hoping on the live classes of 3 Masters as I start radiation treatments on the 27th of this month. Sorry to hear that,
Oh,
Rex.
yeah.
For 30 days. So he wants to have positive and fun things to look forward to. He loves wood turning.
Well, that's a very good attitude, Rex, and we wish you all the best. I'm quite sure you could contact any of the 4 of us via Messenger anytime you want.
Absolutely.
I'll see if I can put you a couple extra lives in, Rex, so you've got something else to watch. Hoi is a Geordie term, by the way. It means throw.
I'm glad you translated for us.
I only just thought of it when I said it.
Well, as soon as Theo recovers from his gallbladder surgery, hopefully Record Power will be back with their lives. And I know I'll be doing the halftime session with fundamentals.
Nice.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the last one you did.
Well, thank you.
This stuff is hard. It is hard.
Yeah, but that makes it a pleasure to turn.
Well, it
And
yes,
it'll
it will
shine up
make
well
it.
as well.
I was going to say it'll sand up and look great. Just sanded, probably. Be kind of like doing some ebony where that stuff is so stinking hard. Let's see. We'll turn
Actually,
that down a
ebony
little bit.
is one wood that you're better off using carbides on.
Uh-huh. Too slow.
I'm back. Hello, everyone.
Right.
Oh, you were gone.
Benjamin's just come in.
Hey,
And
cheers.
Ben.
Jamie's just Right, Jimmy's just put in there. He's halfway through turning the 400 gram. That was a
4,000
400 gram
gram.
resin, 4,000 gram resin pour that he did for I think it's a 6-inch sphere that he's done. He just needs to sand and polish it and buff it now. I have actually seen that piece and it looks amazing. It really does.
Oh, I hope
Very
he
cool.
posts it. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Did we say hello to Barry Chitty?
Hey, Barry.
And Ben's in. Hello, Ben.
Yeah.
Hi,
Wayne
Ben.
Was just calling out Ben's name as you came back.
All right. Sorry.
Very good.
Jamie, did you use the sphere jig to turn the sphere?
He did, yes.
All right, good.
Yeah, he had to actually make. Seeing as how he's changed his lathe, he's now got the Harvey lathe. It needed some adjustments. He had to get an extra height thing.
Yeah.
He's saying it's close to 7-inch rather than 6. But anyway, he had to get an extra add-on for the height, and then he found out when he was fitting the sphere jig up that the locking plates on the bottom that go between the bed bars,
Yeah.
they weren't long enough, so he had to
Oh.
have them made as well. But
My
AGK
goodness.
helped him out with that, so that's all sorted. Everything's been sorted. So
Good.
Oh, good.
I got
It's
two.
it's amazing how different the different lathes are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got two 5-inch oak skittle balls on the order book, so I've got to make. So I'm going to use the sphere jig for those.
Do you have one, Mark?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say I'd loan you one of mine.
No, I've got the Paul Howard one. But thank you.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Heather's in. Hi, Heather.
Hey,
Hi,
Heather.
Heather.
Heather, you watch them all at work, or you skipping work today? My wife came in from work last night. She works at a hospital as well, and she was just. I think she was just over it last night. There are just days that are like that, you know. When everything has to be so, she's got to be right all the time. There's not much time for
Careful.
letdown.
Careful.
Well, she's a nurse, you know, and she does. She's got to be right.
She also
I'm
might
not.
be watching.
No. She's out in the garden. She she came to the door a while ago. What time are we supposed to be there tonight? We've got a dinner tonight. We've got to go to. Um, she was concerned about that, but she was on her way out to the garden.
I keep forgetting you're 5 hours behind us.
Yes, we are. Sometimes I'm very glad about that. Sometimes I'm not so glad.
Well, just be very conscious of it, Mark, if you decide to call us early in the morning.
If I do a pop-up live at 10 in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Mark,
little early.
I would get up at 5 in the morning for you.
I know you would.
Especially if you let us know ahead of time. I'm going to do a pop-up live tomorrow. Something doesn't quite fit there.
Now, Susie is asking, what strange sanding pad is that you're using?
I'm sorry. What about it?
Explain it to her.
What sandpaper is that?
Oh, what sandpaper? This is white rhino. Rhino grip. It's Indesa sandpaper that I buy in uh, 1 yard sheets, yard by yard, 3 feet by 3 feet, and cut it up. I put a I keep an old bandsaw blade, and when I get new sandpaper, I put that old blade on my bandsaw and go to town. And if I have to do anything under 150 grit, there's not much in the way of teeth left.
Hmm.
It just takes
Yeah,
them off. But it's Velcro backed, so I can use all my Velcro pads. And a 2-inch size is good, even for this. By hand, it works really well. If I need them smaller, I typically there's usually a little strip of scrap at the end, and I will cut those into just little bitty squares that I can use for little stuff.
Wayne says he's back. Does that mean he's back to stage? He might have kicked out.
There we go. There he is.
There I
There
am.
he
Sorry
is.
about that.
No, it's not you.
Yeah, all of a sudden the internet went out.
Can't imagine.
I've had that happen on occasion when there's storms go through here.
Yeah, we've got an absolutely lovely evening here, though.
Yeah. We got
For a
real
change.
cloudy here earlier, and then the sun came out, and now it's getting cloudy again.
It's nice here. Let's admit, it's. I'm gonna walk down the beach after this.
All right, I'm going to do a little polishing up on this before we go to fit it onto the lid. A little alcohol just to clean it.
Everything looks better with a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah, tell
Especially
me
if
about
it's
it.
apricot brandy.
Just saying.
Ben said he tried doing his hashtag on the weekend, and it was looking quite good until he used embellishing wax. Now it's in the bin. He'll try again this weekend.
Oh, mercy. Come on, Ben.
Try it tomorrow,
Embellishing
Banks.
wax
Has
is
to be in
supposed to
by
help.
Friday.
Excuses,
That's true.
excuses.
Well, tomorrow's just Wednesday. Tomorrow's just Wednesday.
That's true, it is.
I've turned one on Thursday night and had it in before the deadline on Friday. I don't remember which one it was, but I did. Oh, mercy. I think this is going to be the pretty piece of the whole thing. Crank my speed up here. Let this abrasive paste do its deal.
I'm off down to Bodmin this Saturday for an all-day demonstration. So,
What do you mean
really,
not down to Bodmin? You live in Bodmin, don't you?
No, I live an hour from Bodmin.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm in Bude.
Oh, of course you are. Sorry, Mark.
Bodmin Woodturners. I shall be demoing my spiral platter, a lamp, spiral hollow form, Stuart Mortimer inspired, and spiral goblet.
You're just going to be spiraling out of control, aren't you?
Oh well, the platter's not actually a
So
spiral, it's texture.
Is that an all-day demo?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're only doing 4 pieces then.
Yeah. That's all I wanted. Shut up. It's 10 till 4.
What kind of colors are you going to use, Mark?
I'm going to use Joe Sonia's this time because I'm bored of doing the rainbow, the buffet waxes.
A little black and a little gold, maybe?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I see what you guys see, but I it's like so many other pieces. It looks so much better in person. All right, I've got to get what?
Looks a bit dark from here, so yeah, we lose a bit of the detail.
Yeah, well, get these calipers set. And they're pretty close. Hot dog.
Andy, the Valley Woodturner's in.
Hi, Andy.
Andy. All right.
Quite ironic that I represent Klingspor, and the colours are black and yellow.
Doesn't look
Those
like you're
must
doing
be
black
your
and yellow.
favorite colors, Mark.
I think at some point they maybe used to be.
Well, yeah. Till I did a demo with the handles one day. Yeah. Roy's the boys in. Hello, Roy.
Hey,
Evening,
Roy.
Roy.
Todd says it's a pleasant 91 Fahrenheit, currently 32.75 Celsius versus 106 it was last week. It's supposed to get real hot again in a couple days.
That's nasty.
Yeah, it is. All right. Good shape for the shape we're in. Come back with my little small parting tool. Ooh, that's not sharp. It's dull as it can be. So I'll get my favorite thin parting tool.
Roy's asking, what's the word? Bird is the word.
No, he said, "What's the wood?"
Oh, sorry.
This
Really do need
particular
to-
wood, we have no idea.
I really do need to clean my glasses.
It's
I was
blue,
supposed to-
whatever it is.
We
Okay.
could give you some reading lessons, Mark.
I think I need some seeing lessons.
Well, you know.
Well, you are getting to that age now. That's
Yeah,
true.
all right, yeah. Whatever.
Oh my. Speaking of which, eye doctor tried
Right.
to give me some.
In answer to Roy's question, that was a piece of stabilized wood that Doug doesn't really know what it is. But when it was stabilized, it had some blue color put through it. So it has turned out blue.
Yeah. And the blue actually goes with the blue that is in the vase portion or vase, whichever way you want to say it. Same thing, just a different pronunciation. Get my drill bit together here.
Oh dear, Robert said he had to go out and cut down a sycamore tree for his class next week in that 102-degree Fahrenheit weather, and Harry wasn't helpful at all. Probably
Oh,
Harry
Harry.
stayed underwater and in the pool.
Probably. All right. Put that tool away, put that tool away. Tool rest out of the way. I know what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe for Christmas you'll get a new chuck, Doug.
Yeah. I almost don't want to get. I don't want to lose that one. That's been around from the beginning, and I'm not so sure it wasn't secondhand when we got it. But I've made some new contacts, Ruby, that you know about, and maybe, just maybe, they happen to have a chuck that is awfully nice.
Yeah, just lying about somewhere, Doug.
Yeah, in a big warehouse.
Yeah.
Not far from you.
Or one that's been used at a demonstration and they don't need anymore.
Absolutely. Or maybe it's one they send to me to demonstrate that I get to hang on to, maybe. That
Sounds
wouldn't
like a
be
plan.
such a bad thing. Yeah. Let's see, I'm not sure why I'm doing that. That's in my way if I pull that up there.
I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, well, if this was going to be a longer hole, I would probably, in fact, I am going to bring that up and give myself a divot. If this was going to be a long, like for a lamp, I would get that level and do it that way. Use my tool rest to make sure I stay in the center. I'm just going to use the tip of my skew to give myself just a little dimple right in the center. That way it won't wander. Then we're going to drill the hole, then we're going to sand it. And I should be able to then put my little finial right on there.
And Gav
There we
said
go.
he'd just come in. I don't know if anybody's already said that.
Oh,
Hi,
look, Gav.
Gav.
Gav, good to see you, buddy. Was thinking about you and another fellow that we haven't seen for a while earlier today. So it's good to see you today. That drill bit must be dull as
Dishwater.
at least. It's getting warm, but it's not cutting very good. There we go. It's amazing how they suddenly take off.
Yeah, hit it on the good spot.
There. Shoo-wee. Okay. Now. Sandpaper. Bring my start with 100 grit. We'll go all the way to 320. Turn this a little earlier for you folks that came in just a little bit ago.
So Todd just said, is the lathe turning in the right direction?
Yes, it's going in the right direction. I've been known to do that once or twice.
Yeah, me as well. I remember one day I sharpened all my tools and none of them would cut properly until I realized I had it in reverse.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, I changed. Turn that off so I can think for a second. I changed the cutters on my carbide tools, on my easy wood tools, because it would not cut for nothing. I went to change the second one and I realized I was in reverse.
Yeah.
Douglas
That
Mum
was
and
And
early.
Troy.
Douglas.
No, Doug.
Hey,
Hi,
Douglas.
Douglas. The nice thing when you do something stupid like that is there's usually only you there to say anything.
Exactly, Ruby. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Mark, when you get to our age, you'll understand. That's why we call them senior moments.
I do them already.
Well, you've
I've
been
been known to do.
practicing, have you?
Yes, I do stupid things too.
Now, can I just say at this point, Mark doesn't do stupid things because he's seen me do them. He does them on his own.
I do them all on my own. Then Wayne copies them because I'm an influencer.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, my life.
But but that's part of what makes life interesting.
Yes.
If everything just went perfectly every time, it wouldn't be half as much fun.
When we
No,
boy, it would be
definitely
boring.
not.
Yeah.
Lucy said she calls them blonde moments.
Yeah, I'm not blonde, so I can't really do that.
Douglas is asking if we're all okay. Yeah, at the moment, Douglas, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Andy has said he frequently has senior moments. What, at your age, Andy? Good.
All right, so much for that noisemaker. Love when that part's done so that I can turn that machine off. I keep hearing people talk about, they hate this machine and that machine. Usually it's a table saw or a chop saw. I hate a vacuum. Just hate the vacuum.
Mine was the table saw. That's why I sold it.
Well, I guess if I ever had a major problem with the table saw, I've had kickback and had it hit me in the belly once or twice, and that was no big deal. I've been hurt more by the chop saw with little pieces that fly back, and even that's not terrible.
Under,
But that
under the
vacuum cleaner,
influence, Ivy.
I guess I've been lucky with all of my machines so far.
right? I've been very fortunate. I've not been hurt.
Lucy has said some mistakes are too much fun to only make once.
That's true.
And Wivy Woodshed has said to Mark, influencer or under the influence, Mark?
Under the influence.
The lathe is
Probably
off
a
for the day.
combination of the two.
Don't
Yeah,
be running
and
on
Andy,
cider these days.
and Andy said back to Lucy, surely there should be great highlights moments, Lucy.
But some of those mistakes that you make or dumb things that you do can turn out to be happy accidents,
They can.
and you can end up creating something quite original that way.
I know some of you folks you really like to know this is a piece of black walnut. If you weren't here with us last week, we got this started. That's why I only had to touch it up and sand it, drill the hole. We left the rest of it for this week.
Get away with your walnut. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, my weed tree.
Yeah, Lucy's come back to Andy and said, she actually called him darling. Oh my life. It's
Uh-oh.
not great. It's my chrome bits.
Run, Andy. Run.
Platinum blonde, Lucy. Platinum blonde.
Yeah,
That's
and,
what I
and
claim.
Todd has come back. I think this was about the influencer or under the influence. He's come back and said, oh, maybe effluent.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say.
Effluent.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for me to say.
Careful.
Uh,
All right. We've done the abrasive paste. Let's put a little wax on there.
Douglas says they're trying to find out why his left ankle is rolling inwards, and opioids are not killing the pain. Doug, you've got our best wishes for you that they
Yeah,
will find
that's
out and
been
solve that.
that has actually been going on for quite a long time now.
Yeah, I better get it sorted soon, mate.
Ankle is rolling inward. Need higher arch supports?
Andy has said he's already moving back out of the workshops.
Just sit up on the counters, Andy. She can't reach you from there.
Don't count on it, Mark. She probably has a good throwing arm.
It's a long way to throw. Andy's a big lad.
Let y'all see some of that grain that's popping out of that little junky piece of walnut.
It's hideous. Ugly old piece of wood.
Here we go.
Ugly old piece of wood.
Of course, you guys have some nice stuff like you and a few other things that we don't
Right,
have.
Anthony. Okay, Anthony Green is asking a pertinent question here. Is there a rule to find out when the jaws are closing to a perfect circle so they don't mark or indent on the tenon? Thank you. Well, from my point of view, Andy, if you leave around about a 2 millimeter gap, now I don't know what that is in inches. 3
It's not
mil is
much.
an eighth of an inch. If you leave around about a 2 or 3 millimeter gap with the jaws, it should be closing in a perfect circle, because the way the jaws are made, they are made into one piece, then cut into four.
Now,
I've got a
well,
top tip for doing this. Put a rubber band around the jaws. When the rubber band's a perfect circle, bang.
it also depends too on what the wood is. Like some woods that are soft will take an indent much better than hardwoods would.
Uh-huh.
So,
Wood.
Yeah.
but the elastic band does help significantly.
Absolutely. Let's just see it. This one is at this moment, these jaws are just about perfect. There we go. I think you can see that. It's
Was
not
in the last
much.
time?
It,
Right,
it depends.
Anthony.
It,
Anthony, I'm doing a live tomorrow night, and I will try and explain it in the live what I'm talking about. I've actually explained this quite a few times in my lives, but if you pop into my live tomorrow night, I'll explain what I'm talking about.
And Anthony, if I'm earworming for Wayne tomorrow night, I'll try and remember to remind him to tell you about it. Because he'll be asleep since then, and he'll have forgotten.
it depends too on the type of jaws that you're using, whether they're a dovetail or if they have like a bird's beak,
Yeah,
or if they
or
Yeah,
if
have
yeah,
or if
or
they
if
have the
straight.
striations.
Yeah,
Like if they have the bird's beak and it just leaves a mark that looks natural up at the very top.
right.
Now, if you use a jaw if you're using an SK114 and you're using SK114 jaws on it, when they're flush with the outside of the chuck, it's a perfect circle. But if you're using SK100 jaws on an SK114, it doesn't work. So I always use a rubber band.
but I will explain.
There we go. Um, Raffin here lately has been doing a lot of that whole idea of getting the jaws perfectly at the perfect size, um,
Yeah,
so
but
that
he's
you don't
using the
leave a
shark
mark.
jaws.
Yes,
He's
that's
using those
true too.
shark jaws from Big Mark, and they are beautifully formed on the inside
Right.
so that they don't mark. They've got a lovely round, soft sort of edge on the inside. So if you do get the right size, they just hold perfectly.
Right. Right.
Now,
Doug,
Mark, before we actually started the live, Mark was talking about Stuart Mortimer. Now, a young lad from the Wood Turning Club I used to belong to, which is sadly just closed. He had a bit of a masterclass with Stuart a couple of few years ago. This was, and he explained to him how to do the tenon on pieces. So when you have the jaws tightened, and you don't need to have them tightened exceptionally tight, but he explained to him how to have the jaws tightened on a tenon so you don't make any marks on the tenon. So if you're going to phone Stuart tomorrow, Mark,
You are sod. Yes. All right. I'll phone him.
and
God.
afterwards let me know, because if you don't reach him, I'll call him.
Okay. That totally scares me.
He's not a scary guy. Honestly.
I know.
Never
Being
mind.
a voice.
Now, Todd at Glen Cove has suggested, Doug, that you need to make a wooden wrench for loosening that chuck.
Exactly right. I do. I do.
Needs to buy a new chuck.
I need to buy a bunch of new chucks. Every one I've
Needs to get
got.
given a new chuck.
Yeah, I need to be given. Yes, that's on my wish list. Everybody, I come in. A 1 1/4 8. There we go.
But he would definitely prefer the easy wood chuck.
Oh, I think so. I think
Just
so.
to let everybody know.
Okay. It's on Doug's
Uh,
Amazon wish list. If you get one.
Do you
I
want me
don't
to
yet.
call your wife and let her know, Doug?
She'd just laugh at you. She would laugh at you. Now, I made a mistake a while ago. I took the trouble to drill that hole all the way through, and I don't want it all the way through. So, coffee grounds to the rescue.
Da-da-da, da-da.
As much as I like coffee,
Yes,
several years
Jamie,
ago,
I mentioned easy wood chuck.
yes, absolutely, an easy wood chuck.
Rob says they're only $12.99. Buy one. I wish.
12.99. I'll take 3 or 4 if they were 12.99.
Ben says that Axminster are doing buy 2 chucks, get another one for normal price.
Yeah. Buy
Yeah,
2,
okay.
get 2.
That sounds about right.
Buy 3, get 3.
I started to say when I first started hearing about using coffee grounds as a fill.
Oh,
One
heavens
of the
sake.
guys says, "I like my coffee too much. I won't waste my coffee." So he said he was saving his coffee grounds after he made his coffee in the morning and drying them out and all that stuff. And all that I agree, except this is coffee I didn't like, so that's why I'm using it.
Well, that
There
works.
you go. I hope
It's a
it's
good one.
flavoured coffee.
It was. It was.
Yeah,
You weren't here
exactly.
last week, Wayne. Yes, we talked about this was some of your favorite coffee. It's flavored, and I think it's hazelnut and it's espresso. So we
Oh,
just
my
didn't like it.
life.
We just didn't like it.
Wayne's favourite.
Well, I'm sure.
Heather says I can call her husband. She needs a new chuck. I'll just let me know what size, Heather, and I'll even recommend which one to get.
There's the lid with the blue finial,
That's
Oh,
lovely.
nice.
Very
and it
nice.
goes in a spalted. Well, by golly, I'll fix that. Not a problem. Dun, dun,
Yes,
dun.
Lucy, I will be. But I won't be demonstrating. I'll just be there with the AWGB travelling gallery. That's lovely, mate.
Just put it
Very
on my
nice.
rotator there.
Very nice, Doug.
So there you have
Very
it.
nice.
That's my hashtag week. I'll get the tenon taken off the bottom of the pot, and we'll get pictures taken and sent in to Steve. Uh, I don't know if it'll get tonight or maybe it'll be tomorrow, but we'll get it done. So it'll be in the mix. I'll bring that back over here. You guys can see that. Dun, dun, dun.
Because you're a piece of wood to use stand them on.
Well,
There it
there we go.
is.
Lots
we
of
go.
nice comments coming through here, Doug.
Thank you,
Yeah,
one and
the
all.
shape and form are really nice.
Well, and I know all 4 of us have talked about that before. That the shape has to be right. You don't get the shape right, it could be the most beautiful piece of wood. If you don't get the shape right or close to right at least, it just doesn't make sense. Um, that's why
Yeah.
I'm going to go back. I will work on this little transition here between the actual lid and the tenon that I wanted to go down in there because it doesn't quite fit. So I'll work on that some more. As I take the tenon off the bottom, I can do the same thing on the top. I'll make I'll make some kind of a jam chuck for that. Just like for the pot, I almost hesitate to show you the jam chuck because it goes down in the pot, but it goes like that.
That
I'll do it
works.
real
Yeah,
quick.
that works.
I'll do it real quick. um,
I
yeah,
think too often the two things that the wood turners generally forget are shape and proportion.
yeah.
Yeah,
Your
you
shape and
you
your
can
proportion.
you can color a piece, you can texture it, but if the shape and form aren't correct, it's never going to look right.
No,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep. Whether it's a box, a bowl, a saucer, a plate, whatever it might
Anything.
be.
Candlestick,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
It's got to be in proportion and it's got to have proper form.
That's
It-
right.
it-
For sure.
That is totally right, Mark.
Yeah.
Something for you to think on.
Yep. Whether I heard that too.
Oh,
I
man.
heard that.
Harsh. Rude. Rude.
Wow,
Just-
I didn't,
Oh,
and I
my.
didn't have to say a word.
Blimey. Uncalled for.
Too funny.
Oh,
Too
man.
funny.
I was brought
Well.
it back. I was lucky. I was almost doing something then.
Yeah, I started to warn you. I thought, nah, let's just bring them back. Trying to show Wayne something, were you?
Yeah,
Oh dear.
two things.
Robert says that's what I tell my wife about my stomach. If it were a little smaller, it just wouldn't look right.
There you go. There you go. I worked on mine a long time, Robert. I sure
Yeah,
have.
me as well.
That grocery
It's-
store looks better all the time.
Look, it is kind of the golden ratio, but golden ratio doesn't always work.
Right.
Sometimes the eye goes against it. So it has to look right.
Right. I've got
No,
a
Big
got
candle,
a-
Jamie.
yeah. I've got a series of bowls that I did from a picture, and all I had to go by was the golden ratio, the thirds, rule of thirds. And so, most people look at them and say, oh, they're fantastic. I did a whole series of them, and they all depended on what was the max size of my piece of wood. And so I could start from there, use the rule of thirds, and they came out virtually the same, no matter what the size was.
A couple of years ago,
Some people
Mark,
love them, some people hate them. So
a couple of
Go
years
ahead,
ago,
Mark.
Martin Saban-Smith did a brilliant demo. He turned 3 bowls, one by eye, one by rule of thirds, and one by the golden ratio. And
Mhm.
just about 95% of people preferred the one that he turned by eye.
right.
Because
Yeah, I remember
if you
that.
go by the static rule, it doesn't always look right.
And I've got to say, I've got to put this in there. The rule of thirds is not the golden ratio.
They are
No,
different.
it's
Yes.
slightly different. Yep,
They are totally different.
they surely are. They surely are.
and it
Thanks,
depends
Jamie.
too, Mark, on whose eye is doing the viewing.
That's true.
There
Yep.
are some people whose eye will give you square bottoms on their bowls.
Rock balls. I don't do that.
I'm not going
Never
there. I'm
done
not
that.
going there.
I'm not either.
I never made an accusation.
Somebody that likes that tool right there, maybe.
So Jamie's put in there, do you have to use black with the golden ratio? Lol.
Only if you use yellow with it as well.
Only if Mark is doing it.
All
Oh,
right.
Ah, Jamie. Words.
Oh,
you know, one of the things I wish I had never done was suggest black and yellow for that demo. I wish I'd never done it.
Killed me. You killed me, man.
you wish you hadn't. Mark wishes he hadn't. Listen to you.
I wish I know if Dan, if you're watching, it's your fault because you sprung it on me 3 days before the demo.
Oh.
Wayne told me what colour to do, and I didn't practice.
Oh, that'll teach you. You're supposed to
Yeah.
practice.
Oh my. Well, I tell you what, it's been good to have all of you with us today. The piece is there. You see it. I'll get it finished up and get it on the socials here real soon. May not get it done tonight because I do have a dinner meeting here in about an hour and a half, and so probably won't get it done tonight. But we'll get it done real soon tomorrow for sure. Um, uh, well, Mark, I need to ask you about something anyway. So I'm glad you're here. Good to have all of you
Okay.
with us.
Cryptic.
Ruby, Wayne, Mark, so glad you guys could come
Glad to
along as
be with
well.
you.
And with that, we're going to say good night, everybody.
Night
Good
night,
night.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.